So, in the wake of hashtag Message to Feminists, a new hashtag called Message to Anti-Feminists has been created. And on its face, I don't have a problem with this. But one video in particular by a Miss Kristi Winters has caught my attention. For those who don't know, this is the same Kristi Winters who did a live stream debate with Sargon on the subject of, is feminism good for the world? Anyway, in her Message to Anti-Feminists video, Kristi Winters asserts that anti-feminists are intellectually dishonest and use too many weasel words.
Hey everyone, it's Kristi, and this video is a message for anti-feminists. It's not only for anti-feminists, because there are many times that people make this mistake. Gary Edwards, I'm actually thinking of you here.
I don't really know Gary Edwards, but he seems to be more of a Christina Hoff Sommers type, so of course Winters doesn't like him.
It's not that, if you're using what are called weasel words is bad, but it does get annoying if you use them constantly to avoid actually citing real people or real evidence or real studies or real anything. And so my message to anti-feminists, following on from Demotivator Opinions video, is this. Please stop using weasel words. Please don't use weasel words. Please give up weasel words.
So she then goes on to explain what exactly weasel words are. It's probably pretty obvious from the name, but in so many words it's when someone makes an extremely vague statement without giving a specific example of what they're talking about so that they can easily revise it later on if they need to cover their ass. Examples might include some people say without saying which people, or a recent study without being able to cite said study, and so on. Pretty straightforward, right? The time between the previous clip and the following clip consists of Winters reading every single example on that Wikipedia page, so I don't really think it's relevant, but listen carefully to what she says towards the end of the video.
You have to take these things into context, but if people use a lot of this passive voice and make assertions about the way other people think about things, or it has been said by some people over here, that's problematic. You need to actually say who these people are. You need to cite your sources if you want to be considered credible.
You guys ready?
A great thing that anti-feminists can do to start being more transparent is to actually cite all their sources, name names, and provide evidence that backs up what they have to say.
That's right. Winters made it through this entire video without giving a single example of what she's talking about, or naming any anti-feminists who can be shown to be guilty of this. She simply says, anti-feminists should stop using weasel words. Well, which ones, Miss Winters? If this is such a problem endemic in the community of critics of feminism, then surely you can give at least one example, can't you? She's obviously well aware of people like Sargon of Akkad, or Thunderfoot, or The Amazing Atheist, and I would be surprised if she hadn't heard of at least some of the many others. So after noticing this, I thought it would be fun to examine a feminist who's guilty of doing exactly what she's talking about. Meet Ceedling, otherwise known as that girl who got utterly fucking destroyed by Karen Strawn a couple years ago. She's an everyday feminism contributor and, well,
in this video, I want to discuss the question of female privilege, something I'm often asked about, or frankly told about, in my comments section. So, firstly, why do people think that this is a thing? The main arguments I see about this come from men.
Men who take issue with certain social norms or stats or even legal structures which seem to give women advantages over men.
So think, for example, of the very often cited stat about women being more likely to receive custody of children in a divorce case. These kinds of perceived inequalities are often told to me as proof that being born a woman means that we will have it easier than men in a lot of ways. Because people hold doors for us and pay for our dinner. And here's why female privilege is not as straightforward as many men would like you to think. The first thing is, what is perceived as female privilege usually refers to some benefit in the private or domestic sphere. So yes, maybe we do have to pay for dinner dates less often due to social norms we did not create, I might add. Yes, we often receive custody of children, also due to social norms surrounding motherhood and domestic labor, which we did not create and which do not serve women well in a larger sense.
Yes, we are not as easily deemed predators when we attend a children's playground.
This seems to come up a lot for men's rights activists.
I would also attribute that to social norms regarding how normal it is in society
for a woman to spend time with her children over a man.
So, I think you probably got the message about a minute ago, but in case you really hate yourself and need more reasons not to live, her original video is linked in the description. But it doesn't get any better from there. Speaking of description boxes, does anyone want to take a wild guess at how much evidence Ceedling provided for any of her claims? Anyone? Shit, I almost forgot I have a shout out to make. 4 of my viewers have generously decided to become my first ever patrons, and one of them is a fellow YouTuber called Tom Sequitur. I guess you could imagine that Bane and my crew had some kind of retarded love child or something. Anyway, if listening to some old dude complain about academia and communism is your thing, go check out Tom's channels. I'm gonna be joining him on Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time for a stream about how we can improve the skeptic community. And with the way Message to Skeptics took off, it should be a huge success, right? If you enjoy my content, consider making a donation. If you can't or don't want to donate, you can still help me out by liking and sharing this video and subscribing to my channel. Also check out my previous video. Thanks for watching.